What's good, sports gamers? Today I'm going to show you how to beat your defender off the dribble and go over some of the new moves at your disposal in NBA 2K20. So alright, let's get it. The first move I'm going to go over is the simple crossover. Facing the basket to perform a crossover, you simply flick the right stick to your off-ball hand. So if your off-ball hand is your left, you flick the right stick left. And if it's your right, you aim right. And driving towards the hoop, key note, you don't really need turbo to perform this. You bust this out right when the defender is beginning to block your path, so you can then quickly change directions and hopefully get past them. This is the most risky cross of them all as you're dribbling in front of you, so you want to make sure you have enough space to pull it off first. The effectiveness of the cross depends on the player. Somebody like John Wall has a terrible basic crossover because of how long he hangs the ball, while Bradley Beal's is a lot better. When moving sideways on purpose or by accident and you try and attempt a crossover, he will perform a snatchback animation no matter if you're holding turbo or not. So remember that, and whenever this situation occurs, we're going to still make it work for us. Now when the snatchback animation happens, if you haven't been holding on to turbo at this point, this is when you want to put it into gear. And if you've been holding it the whole time, what's up? Now what turbo does is give you a boost off of the snatchback. From this position while holding turbo, you will now be able to perform another crossover by aiming the left stick up and to the left or right, or if they overcommit to your initial path, you'll be able to drive back the other way. From a standstill position, you can then flick the right stick back and forth to start sizing them up and go a little bit crazy. Here I'm giving a more relaxed approach though, but just combining a simple cross together. Here I get the assist from the pick as something else the defender has to worry about. I do a double cross with Harden, threatening going around the pick, and he bites, so that gives me the green light to cross it back once more the other side. And here's Bradley Beal giving a good old 1-2 as well. Next up is the hesitation dribble. And to do this, you aim the right stick to your ball hand side, so if the ball is on your right hand, aim the right stick right, and vice versa. I mainly perform this from a stationary position. Stationary, it's a test to see what the defender will do. They think you're driving it back up, bam, jumper. If they don't move, you can drive bottom. Here you start chaining moves together, one basic cross with a hesitation, giving the defender one more thing to worry about. And you do that by aiming the right stick to your off-ball hand, and then aiming the right stick to the side of your new ball side hand. So you basically hit the right stick left or right twice to perform this. And here's a double cross with a hesitation mixed in as well. You can even add in a pick and roll as added incentive for the defender to increase their chance of biting on it. Around the perimeter, you can do a lot of things here, and it will be based on what the defender does in reaction to you. Once you attempt the hesitation, you let go of the left stick. Now from here, you'll be able to either pull up, drive left, or right. Now to drive either way, you then hold turbo and aim the left stick up into the left or the right. Harden does exactly what I just went over here, uses the hesitation to survey and notices the lane to the left and takes advantage. Next is the in and out move. I strictly like this one on the move, and to do this you hold RT or R2 on your controller and flick the right stick up. This is effective at getting the defender leaning while you really never move off your given path. Get them to take one step the wrong way and you got them. You see Kyrie gets the computer and then the user to bite on his in and out move here. And I don't really know what Cousins was doing here. Next up is the behind the back dribble. I love this because it protects the ball majority of the time from defenders and how it launches the ball handler the other way when on the move. It's also used as a counter when the defender is about to block your path. And by flicking the right stick down, you will perform a behind the back and launch yourself the other way, hopefully for a score. Make sure you're aiming yourself towards the hoop to get the animation that you can drive off of. The biggest thing is letting go of turbo before you aim the right stick down to perform this, because right trigger and right stick down performs a completely different move. Here I totally bait the defender to get in front of me so I can use Donovan Mitchell's beautiful behind the back dribble to get past the defender. And here's Levert, whose drive is blocked, and a simple behind the back gives him daylight to get into the lane. Now for the between the legs cross. You can pull this off from a standstill or on the move, and you can do it by aiming the right stick down into the side of your off-ball hand. So down and to the left if the ball is in your right hand, and down and to the right if your ball is in the left. On the move, similar to the behind the back, this lets you change direction, sometimes even quicker than the behind the back, to get away from the defender. Here I get a little crazy with Kyrie in between the legs and lull the defender to sleep, and ultimately use that initial blow by to get into the paint. And Isaiah Thomas creating a bunch of space off a simple between the legs dribble. Next is the spin move. And to perform this, you rotate the right stick from your ball hand side around the bottom of your controller. This is a way to create daylight for yourself from defenders who cut off your initial path, allowing you to spin off of them in hopes of daylight the other way. You don't want to do this when the drive is already the best option, because you will then spin into traffic and potentially lose the ball. Now for the step back. And to do this, you hold RT or R2 on your controller and aim the right stick down. This is the move that I said the behind the back turns into if you're still holding turbo while driving. From a standstill position, they can create a ton of space from defenders, and driving also gives you tons of separation by using the defender's momentum against them as they fly on by you, hopefully leaving you open for a jumper. Next is the hard stop stutter. And you do this by tapping the left trigger on your controller while driving. This is the reason I don't use the hesitation in the paint, as it's an adequate substitute. This gives you a split second to reevaluate your situation, maybe get the defender in the paint to play up, or attempt to block a smidge too early because of your speed change. Now for the 2K20 newbie, the fake behind the back. To perform it, you hold the right trigger and aim the right stick down into the side of your off ball hand. Then aim the left stick up into the side of your ball hand. So let's say the ball is in your right hand. You aim the right stick down into the left, and the left stick up and to the right. It's confusing at first, but you just need to practice it a few times. And to perform the sham guide, you aim the right stick up into the side of your ball hand and then quickly flick it to the left or right. You can perform this from a standstill or on the move. Now let's go over the escape dribbles, and first is the hesitation escape. The hezi escape adds a little more movement to the hesitation to create more space for you for a shot and to help you when you're in trouble to get a bit more space from defenders. And you pull it off by holding the right trigger and flicking the right stick to your ball hand side. So the right trigger is the difference between the regular hezi and the hesitation escape. Now to perform across the hezi escape, you hold the right trigger and aim the right stick to your off ball hand, and he'll do across the hezi escape, which for some guys is better than their actual hezi escape due to the amount of ground they cover. And lastly is the behind the back wrap escape, where although it's listed as one thing in the game, it's much better this way. To perform this move, you hold the right trigger, aim down into the side of your off ball hand, and aim the left stick up into the side of the same hand. So if the ball is in your right hand, okay, you're aiming down and to the left with the right stick and up and to the left with the left stick. And the ball handler will perform a behind the back escape that allows him to drive out of it, which is much better than what is listed in the game. This can be used to quickly get around screens while protecting the ball, or just in general clear a large amount of space quickly while the ball handler is driving. So with that, alright sports gamers, hope this video was able to help you guys out and you were able to add at least one move to your arsenal from the video. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and once you're with us, hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. I'm Chris, thank y'all for watching, and be good y'all.
Here's Walker. Chalk up two there. Career for Chris Paul. Perhaps no longer the undisputed best point guard in the game. And here is KD. Well, Doris, here is Lillard. Down to 5.
You know, sometimes that can be a tough call for
heart and hustle of Conley, really putting in work on defense.
No good from Blitz. That was ferocious.
Moment in the game, Kevin Durant has.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
well, Kevin, as soon as he gets it.
And it's Walker penetrating, lays it up,
And pass fairly well.
so you were ahead of your time.
A good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive.
Some momentum.
Here's Beal.
Distance. I mean, you got to bring much faster help than that.
There it is, his third best offense now.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, his hands have gotten better. That's not something you can always see in a big guy.